Welcome to the channel, everyone. So today is fender time on the tilt bed trailer project here. You can see I've got the old fender cut off. It's actually prepped and ready for me to set the new fender on there and get it centered. So cutting these fenders off, that was a fun job. One side was much harder than the other. I don't know if the guy got lazy and wasn't welding as much or as good or whatever, but one side was quite a bit easier than the other side. You can see here even how crooked. This one is really bad. I don't know how you can get your fender crooked when you've got a straight edge frame you can measure off of. I don't know how you screw that up. I'm not sure. There was a hack that had this trailer, and I think once I get these fenders done, I have removed all that hack work on the trailer. So yeah, it's they cut, the person that did those fenders, they cut into the frame really bad here. I had to weld it up. They cut really deep into the frame there. I couldn't leave it like that, so I had to weld that up. And yeah, I don't know how many grinding wheels. I'm going to need a new pack of grinding wheels because I went through quite a few grinding wheels getting these fenders off. Now, if they were just junk, I would say just plasma cut the fenders off. I am saving these fenders because the support is rotted, but the fenders are actually really good. I don't know how, they're not a recent install, but the fenders are good enough for my dad's trailer. His fenders are completely rotted off. So I'm going to transfer these fenders onto his trailer. They don't need to be that great. They just need to cover the wheels. So that's why I had to cut these off with pretty much a grinder, which it's not a fun thing. Usually when people are replacing fenders, they're destroyed. So then you can just plasma cut them off or whatever. But yeah, I did save these. I got a little too much of the fender there, but otherwise I was able to save these fenders, so they're good. They're good to go on Dad's trailer, so he'll be happy. Them are not cheap fenders. Them are pretty heavy gauge. Someone did spend some money on those fenders, so they're good quality fenders. So didn't want to just waste them, but they'll be repurposed. So I've actually already I'm about halfway through this process, maybe a little more. I've already got this side finished. So this side's on. I ain't got my wheels torqued, but this side's on. So, I mean, it's not complete, but the fender's bolted on and the trailer is usable, which I'm going to need it this weekend. So I got to get that other side on. So fenders, you can see the fenders here. They're not terribly damaged. There's a dent on one side, but they weren't bad. They weren't rotted out. The braces, hopefully you can see that, they were rotted out, which I think them braces were original. These fenders have been replaced. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the rust line. It's crooked. Whoever put these fenders on, put them on crooked. That's mainly the reason why I'm doing this, is because I can't stand these fenders being crooked. I'm not sure why they're crooked, because you got a frame that runs the length of the trailer. Very easy to measure off, unless someone tried to measure off the wheels, which the suspension moves. So those wheels go up and down, you know, who knows where they're at a certain time. I think once you get your weight on there and you level the trailer out, then the wheels will sit level. But otherwise, you go over bumps. When I tilt it, you know, the wheels go all over the place. I did end up just, I made it so they're bolt-on. I'm going to add probably a step or something, a brace and everything for these. But again, I'm just trying to get this so I can use this and just get these fenders installed. So I made them bolt-on for a couple of reasons. It's going to help me separately paint this stuff. And what I found is I found quite a bit of corrosion behind the fenders on the frame and stuff. So it's pitted pretty good. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera, but it's got the typical Wisconsin pitted rust. So I want to be able to like treat that with POR 15 or some sort of rust treatment. And if I just welded these fenders back on, there's really no way to treat that, and it's just going to continue to deteriorate that frame member there. So I want to be able to treat that. So the best way is to make the fenders bolt on. I really don't see a disadvantage to that. The only disadvantage to that is so the fender's gonna rattle because it's not welded on. I think I got a fix to that. I'm gonna use some rubber, like rubber tape or foam insulation or something that's gonna go between the fender and the steel frame. Should illuminate that, so there shouldn't be any noise. So other than that, I really don't see a disadvantage to having these fenders bolt on. If something does happen and you do wreck one, it's going to be way easier to unbolt it and get another one this way. So the way I did that is I just got some square tubing. I welded the square tubing to the trailer. I've got angle iron. I welded the angle iron to the fender, and then I actually got two 10mm bolts. I've got a riv nut in this tubing. So why did I go with 10mm? That's the biggest riv nut I had, and I figured I wanted a fairly good sized bolt to hold this fender on. Now, really, they're just holding it on there. All the weight is on this piece of tubing, so that it's really not holding any weight. So that's my, I'll probably put foam under here so it ain't rubbing metal to metal there. So any like metal to metal contact, I'll probably maybe like put a piece of foam or rubber or something. So I'll cap, these will be capped. Right now they're open, but they'll be capped when I'm finished. I'll probably do another video once I get the whole thing done. I want to probably build a step, a decent sized step, so I can step onto the trailer easier to get to, you know, what's on there and get off and stuff like that. So yeah, that's I got my square tubing all cut. I got 8-inch square tubing. I went a little bit shorter on the angle iron to allow for weld, you know, the weld here, because it can't be on that weld or it won't sit flush. And then yeah, it's what else am I doing here? Oh, I'm like I said, I'm getting ready to mock this fender in place here. You're gonna need to find the center of your fender. And I've measured it. These are 72 inches, and I made the center mark. And then so the center of these axles should be this pivot point. See the pivot point on the suspension? That should be the center. Now this is leaf spring suspension, so the axles are going to kind of move slightly. They're going to move. But you don't set it up for when they're moved. You set it up for when the trailer's flat and loaded and everything else and the tires are even. So that bolt should be the center of everything when everything's even. So I just took a square and I run me a line straight up, a couple lines here. So that'll be the center of the deal. So I'm going to get some jack stands, get this fender into place, and start figuring out where I'm going to weld those square tubing and stuff. Okay, so here's a quick look at what I've got, kind of with the fender off. I just got the tubing welded to the trailer, obviously. The angle iron welded to the fender. Same over here. Same over here. Square tubing. And a ton of measuring trying to match that other side. I might be a 16th off, but good enough for this. Yeah, trying to get everything. The other side wasn't too bad because I was doing everything the first time, but now I have to kind of come over here and mirror everything, and that gets a little more tedious. There wasn't so much measuring on the other side, but anyway, it's almost there. I'm going to drop it down. I'm going to clamp it. I'm going to clamp it to the square tubing there. I'm going to drill my holes and get ready for my rib nuts. Okay, so I got my holes drilled in the fender. Got my holes drilled in the bracket. So I got my rib nut riveted into the tubing there. Again, this 10 millimeter. That's the biggest one I had. I wanted a bigger bolt. So there's the holes without the rib nut. Here is the rib nut. Basically, it's just an insert, a threaded insert. You can get them all kinds of different size, every size there is. It goes in the hole here. I need my tool to pound that in there, but it basically goes in the hole. Again, I gotta have it on my tool. Here's the tool. So you put the rib nut, you screw it onto the end of the tool. Then I take my tool, stick the rib nut Okay, that's a 1/2 inch hole, and I kind of wallered it out. It's pretty snug, but a snug fit's good. These rib nuts won't loosen up. So you take the handles, pull the handles, and it basically rivets this nut in the square tubing. Pretty neat. So I got my rib nut in there. Basically going to squeeze this handle. And takes quite a bit of strength to pull on that. Definitely if you got shoulder problems or something, it ain't gonna probably work out for you. But anyway, All it is screw it onto my tool. Really neat stuff for fabrication. I should use these more, but they got air powered ones that are really nice, but they're pretty expensive. So there we go, I got my nuts in there. I'm gonna drop my fender back on, bolt it on, and this job will be done. So there it is, bolted on. I just used some stainless Allen head bolts that I had. I believe that was for the S10 project I got them for. Got my wheels are bolted on, they're not torqued down. And again, the suspension on this thing isn't down all the way. I jacked it up and set it down, but it's got to start moving and it's going to fall down. It's not going to be, the tires shouldn't sit that high in the fenders. I've got it so there should be about 1 inch of clearance if the axle actually bottoms out on the frame. There should be at least 1 inch for the tire to have room not to hit the fender. The suspension should not be maxed out like that. If you got your suspension maxed out and you're on the frame, you're overloaded. You're way overloaded. So yeah, a lot of work doing trailer fenders, a lot of work. But I do like the looks of these fenders. They're square instead of round, and you know, the trailer's made out of all square tubing and stuff. It just, I don't know, it just seems to fit right. But I like it. I like it, and I like that the job is done. Now I get to, like I said, add steps and add some supports for these fenders somehow. There was a light right here. I might add maybe a couple lights. I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, I got to finish it out. And you'll probably see that in the next video or the next video. I might do wheels and tires here. And I eventually got to paint this stuff because I can't keep putting it in the shop. So there it is, guys. Finished job here. This is the suspension after it settles down where it's supposed to be. You can see it doesn't look like a lifted trailer. I also added a bolt-on brace in the center there. It held me just fine, but I wanted someone that was like 200 plus pounds to be able to step on that. Yeah, a 250 pound guy could probably dance on that fender. It ain't gonna go anywhere. So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. The fenders are installed. I like them. The only thing I would change about this is actually, I think I would have had them like a 1/4 inch wider, just to cover the tires. I know a lot of trailers have the tires, they just kind of poke out there. I'm not really a fan of that. But anyway, that's it, guys. Fender job is done. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you.